But right now on a Celtics Wednesday, Mego is here, another attendee, unlike others, at the Odyssey holiday party on Friday night.
I was there. I did not bowl, but I was there.
Enjoyed hanging out with you. You were sipping on, I believe, a delicious martini, if I remember correctly.
I was having actually Kat Jones's wife was introducing me to this like tequila seltzer blend thing with coconut in it, and it was delicious. But I am a big teeny girl. Yeah.
We've had some teenies in our day. Together.
Martini Ottolini. That's me.
All right.
That's actually my father.
That's your father.
Yeah, Martin Ottolini.
You like a dirty one too, right?
I like a twist. I don't like olive, so I like a lemon twist. And I'm going to a place tonight that I think has the second best martinis in all of Greater Boston.
Well, that's a bold statement.
I know. And I think second best is couching it in reality, so you know I'm telling the truth. I'm not telling you it has the very best. 1928 Beacon Hill.
It is such a good one.
Legit martini.
Yeah.
Where do you believe the best is? I know where I think it is.
Same.
I'm hesitant to say because I don't want other people taking bar stools away from me.
Oh.
Do you want? I'll disclose.
It's not what. Are you and I saying the same?
I think that we're on the same one. Is the glass frosted with ice?
Yes.
I know.
That's a key
Grilled
ingredient.
23.
Grilled 23, I think.
World
That's one.
23 is definitely top 5.
And I bet I know yours.
What?
Franklin Cafe.
No, but I love the atmosphere.
They have a good
Cafe.
martini as well.
Also, anchovies in the South End.
Okay.
That would round out my top 5. Number 1 in the entire Greater Boston area has to be the Abbey in Brookline.
I've never been.
Really?
Incredible martini.
Okay.
Do they have different flavors?
You know where Ken lives.
You and
This is
I.
Washington Square.
There was a place that was in the financial district that you and I attended quite a bit for their martinis, and it was shut down because the manager was being inappropriate with people.
There was a little drama.
There was a scandal there.
We
But
were
that
there
place
shortly
had good
before that.
martinis.
That place had legit martinis.
Yeah.
He was a creeper. But are there different flavors to martinis?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, all right.
Your martini order says a lot about you.
Yeah, I love this espresso martini. I don't get it in the glass, though.
What do you mean?
What do you just say? You love the espresso martini, but then you asked if there were flavors of martini.
See, I wasn't sure. For some reason, I was like, is that a martini? I wasn't
It's
sure.
in the name of it. Wiggy.
Because my favorite
Because-
is the pistachio.
you can
But you
get
can
a
only
good
you can only get them in the North End.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't
you're
like
probably not a fan of that though because it's not real martini. It's
Oh, it's not?
Are
I
you
like
gin or
a
vodka?
Vodka. I'm a
You're
vodka gal.
yeah.
I like vodka straight up, bone dry,
Bone dry.
with a lemon twist.
And I just asked them to put it in a regular glass because for whatever reason.
You like it on ice.
No, I always spill it.
You're right, Wiggy. This is not a martini. What you're ordering.
Yeah. No, it is a martini.
It's like a
but-
frappuccino.
But it's a pistachio, and I go in the regular. I did have a watermelon one time that was really.
Is that a daiquiri? What's going on?
Might have been a
Like
martini.
100
Yeah, watermelon martini.
I did have 100 martinis, but are those martinis? I know it's in the name.
Well, she
all
said
right.
olives
Yeah.
and stuff. So
Speaking of Friday night, and again, I don't know. I cannot figure out how I feel about the Celtics because I just know I suspect they're waiting around till the playoffs get here, and then we see who they really are. Whatever. But Friday night, we were at the holiday party. Lackluster effort from that basketball team.
Yes,
Friday night.
against Sacramento. And to be fair, that's a team that is red hot. I know people hear Sacramento Kings, and they're pretty low in the Western Conference standings, but they had a 7-game win streak, and they had won their 6th with you. And so that's a team that is just rolling. They have a weird interim coach situation. So you think it's like a dead cat bounce for them, but they're doing really well. And so I
Should I
couch
just give
that.
up my expectation that in the NBA there's going to be some defense that is actually played? Like, should I just give up that expectation?
So last time I was here to answer that question, I was saying, like, I'm not going to give the Celtics the benefit of saying they're all healthy now. And so they're adjusting to each other.
Yeah.
But I did think about the other night, Joe Mazzulla said, we're kind of in training camp mode
Yeah.
where our starters, because they're getting off to these slow starts. They went 1 for 11 from the 3-point line on Sunday against the Pelicans, who are a dreadful team in terms of their record. And so I think that they are adjusting to some of having Kristaps Porzingis back on defense. He's a great rim defender, but then you maybe give something up in the 3-point game on the other side, and some of these teams are doing that against them. I do think that there is an adjustment level. Again, it's great that they're all healthy, but at the same time, you have individuals like Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, who have been in and out of the lineup, and there is some of this adjustments going on. I don't think, again, that it's like teams figuring them out or other teams surging and being actually more talented or better than the Celtics. I just think it's a little bit of tweaks here and there of them trying to get back in with each other.
And then you sprinkle the boredom in because we know in the NBA, the NHL, and Major League Baseball, like the regular season is, especially when you're a good team. When you're a good team, what does the regular season really mean for you, right? You're probably thinking like, all right, maybe we don't get the number 1 seed, but we can go anywhere and beat anybody. 4 games. And I think part of it is that, especially, in hockey and basketball, because there's so many games throughout the week where it's just like, all right. And unless it's like you're playing against the Cavaliers or you're playing against OKC where it's like, all right, we're going to get a little extra juice for this. You're playing against the Raptors. They got, 8-9 wins?
They're playing down to people, which is a bit concerning, I think, for people.
I think it's boredom. You're there at the games. I mean.
Yeah, and I think especially when you look at these 2 games, there's a human nature aspect to this where they came off that road trip where they went 3-1, overall big success, tough second half that they had against Oklahoma City. But then when they're back, it's kind of like, oh, you're back at home, a little bit more comfortable. You're seeing teams that don't have great records, but they still have individual pieces like Sabonis on the Kings who can really get after you in the fourth quarter if you let up that mental game just a little bit. And I think it's interesting you mentioned the Cavs. That's a team where, you're right, Wiggy, the regular season means different things for different teams.
Right.
And for the Celtics, the regular season means stay healthy, stay the course, be yourselves. And then when you get closer to the playoffs, get in your groove, get in your rotation, get into the playoffs and do your damage there. For a team like the Cavs, they're establishing their culture. They're finding themselves. And that's just a different kind of regular season than the defending champs are going to have.
Did you like the way they, and when I say they, I mean Joe Mazzulla and Jayson Tatum, responded to Jennings calling Jayson Tatum the softest player in the NBA?
I kind of think it just doesn't deserve any response. Like, it's such a play for attention from Jennings.
Right.
And again, if you look, I get it. Like, we're all in the media. You say stuff, you put it out there. You're like planting your flag. This is my thing. It's just, I don't know. I think that the Tatum dialogue around him is so ridiculous because the guy's been a top 5 player. He finished 6th for MVP last year, but I think most people would agree that he's been a top 5 player for the past 3+ seasons. He's on the best team in the league. He's going to be an MVP. He's probably going to win another championship. And then you have a podcast this week putting out a list of top 5 Celtics, and here's why Jayson Tatum's not on it. It's like, why are you so desperate?
You put out your own, didn't you?
Yeah, as a response, but it goes to show you that Tatum has the star power because you're getting your attention by saying stuff about Tatum and trying to fuel that fire of the dialogue around him.
Are you saying his personality is soft?
No, because he's a quiet, reserved type
not
of
an alpha
guy. No, that's not an alpha. He's just somebody. He's not an ish talker, right? Because when they did the top 5 Celtics and Brandon Jennings and them were arguing, they were putting KG in there.
They put Kevin McHale at number 3. I love Kevin McHale, but that's the 6th man of the year guy.
But those guys were trash talkers, right? Yeah. So you don't hear, and the biggest thing.
Do you think that's what Jennings meant, or do you think he meant that Jayson Tatum is always trying to get himself a call, like always wanting?
No, I think he meant that because Tatum doesn't have that personality of oh, I'm gonna bite your head off and I'm gonna tell you about it, because he loves Kobe but doesn't have the Kobe personality and he's quiet, he's reserved, then people tend to be like, oh, he's soft, he's not a killer, because that's not who he is. Like they did the same thing with Kawhi Leonard, because Kawhi's not a big talker. I just think when you look at Tatum's playing, he's somebody that is like, I played with Troy Brown. Troy Brown wasn't a big talker, but he led by the way he played, and that was his killer mentality was, I'm going to go out there and play this way. Yeah, I think that's why he gets knocked.
I think that it's also just we lose focus of Tatum's been playing for so many seasons, he's still a young guy. He's still, if you look at the averages of NBA players, just beginning to enter his prime years of production. Like when you look at overall the stars, his contemporaries, and the generation before, this is where it becomes, okay, your prime stats, which is crazy.
And that's what makes people, to me, morons, because look what he's done as a young guy just hitting his prime. Look at the numbers he's put up. And as a young, we haven't seen another Celtic do what he's been able to do in the first, 7 years of his career. And like you said, Mego, he's now hitting his prime. And if he can continue to win multiple championships, you're going to make the case that he goes down as the greatest Celtic to ever play.
Whoa, let's not touch Bill Russell. Let's not touch Bill Russell.
Hey, you hit a nerve, though.
Could he crack the top three?
Well, Bill Russell would.
Bill Russell has a bridge.
Bird.
He's got a bridge named after him.
Russell and Bird are kind of set.
But Bird is. I think more people would put Bird ahead of Bill Russell because of Bird's personality.
See, but that's silly.
No,
I
know
that's
that.
Silly.
No, that's
okay.
That's
as long
recency.
as we're in agreement.
Yeah, I know that.
But if
Larry
it's silly,
Bird,
why do
but
people
it's
hate
Russell
Jayson
Top.
Tatum so much? It seems like
Do
it
they
always
hate
goes.
him?
It
What?
seems
I think
like
they're
across
using
the league, people do not like Jayson Tatum.
Really?
Yes.
Wait, you're talking
I'm not
about
talking
other
about-
players?
I'm talking about other people, whether it's media, national media. It seems like there's always a slight against Jayson Tatum. When we saw it immediately after they won the championship, the way in which the general public, not here in Boston, responded to the Celtics winning, and Jayson Tatum in particular.
Courtney, you know this. Jealousy is a disease.
I know.
Yes,
Get well soon.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
It's
Yes,
just
it is.
it's confusing to me where the hate comes from, because it's not a personality thing. He, like you said, if you want to say he has a soft personality because he doesn't lead in that way, I don't get it.
I think it's because he had a standout rookie season. As you remember, we were both covering the team at that time. And he exploded so quickly onto the scene as a super, super young guy that everybody was doing he's just 19, Jayson Tatum, he's the next thing. And then it took several years for the team to get to a championship. And I think people from the outside felt like, oh, it's like anything. Oh, you're hyping this guy up, but then he hasn't won. And then he does win. And it's at that point.
And that's everybody else was hurt.
You're such a big brand that there's a no-win situation there. Jealousy.
Wiggy, if you had to win one Game 7, you could only play one of them. Who would you play, Bird or Tatum?
Oh, Bird.
Okay,
good.
Right, but I didn't say now.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't in the moon. That's good.
In the future, if Tatum gets 4 chips,
oh, Jesus.
he's got one,
Right.
so he only got to win 3 more, and it's possible.
Just 3.
If Mahomes wins 7 more.
But if we're comparing them to the Golden State and the run that the Golden State Warriors had, Steph Curry has 4. So there's a possibility if Tatum's, we would say, I would argue he's the best player in the NBA, but let's say he's in the top 3.
Would you say Steph Curry's a better player than Bird?
Wow.
Because if you're saying he's going to get to Curry and you don't think Curry's better than Bird, then what are we talking about?
No, I said that when it's all said and done, people could make the argument. I'm a Bird fan, so I'm a little bit biased.
Right.
But if Tatum gets the 3 or 4 chips, and
now it's down to 3.
All right, I'm just trying to say, I don't want people to be like, all right, he's got to get to 11. If he gets the 3 or 4 chips, and he's going to have the numbers when it comes to stats and all that other nonsense, it's going to be more of.
It's impossible to compare eras. I
Especially
find it
in
so
the NBA.
difficult.
No, I get you, but that's what we do. We always say, who's the greatest of all time, Bird or LeBron? We compare.
Some people say Jordan.
Yeah, some people might.
Excuse me, Jordan. I'm sorry. Jordan or LeBron.
I mean, Larry Bird and Magic saved basketball.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Right.
Greg saved EEI.
But
there's that.
Greg,
Yes.
there are a lot of people.
Thank you, by the way.
You're welcome. Everybody's welcome. Thank you. I asked nothing but a thank you.
There are a lot of
pretty
people
big paycheck.
that do top 5 that don't have Bird in the top 5 greatest basketball players of all time.
That's ridiculous.
But that's what we do here. We have that conversation.
Mego, great to see you.
Yes, you guys
Did you have
too.
some sort of an issue with me and something that you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, you have an issue with how you're describing your snow show.
Really?
Ski and board?
Yeah.
That's not it. It's ski and ride.
Oh.
From
well,
a snowboarder
excuse-
here,
Right.
you don't say board.
Excuse
Nobody
me.
says I'm going boarding.
Gonna go shred the gnar, bro.
Yeah,
brah.
ski or shred, that works too.
Wow, I've never heard ride.
Yeah, ski or ride.
Ski or ride.
Yes,
wow.
not ski or board. Board is what kids do at very rich schools.
You are a rider.
Well, no, I'm a snowboarder.
A
but
boarder. You're a boarder. Will you join us at the snow show?
Yeah. Oh, I would love to.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'll have to check
you're-
my Celtic schedule, but
Maybe
I'm a
bring,
very talented snowboarder.
Bring the mister.
Wow.
No cap.
Maybe bring the mister
Yeah,
along.
he's a bad skier,
Okay.
but he'll be my lodge bunny, and I will be the athlete on the mountain.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, it is a week from Friday, so we would love to have you there with us.
Oh, wow.
We will set it all up.
Sounds
All right.
great, guys.
That is Mego. You read her at weei.com, and she is our Celtics insider. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.